In this video, we're going to be checking out the top 5 best cameras for outdoor photography in this year. I made this list based on products' features, online popularity, consumers' reviews, brand reputation, prices and more. I've included options for every type of consumer. If you want more information and updated pricing on the products mentioned, be sure to check the links in the description down below. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Number 1. Canon PowerShot SX710HS. For outside digital photography, I always suggest DSLRs or mirrorless compatible lens electronic cameras. Nonetheless, to every policy there is an exception, as the Canon PowerShot SX710HS is definitely a worthy factor and shoot cam that will provide a great performance for outdoor digital photography because this video camera has all the required high qualities plus value for the price aspect. In terms, faux attributes as well as specifications, this point-and-shoot cam is definitely an interesting option, as you truly wouldn't expect this type of performance from it. It is furnished with a 20.3 megapixel 1/2.3 kind back-illuminated CMOS sensing unit and a DIGIC6 photo processor with the ISAPS innovation. It has a great lens with a 30x optical zoom and also an excellent picture stabilizing system inside it. Carrying on it has a 9-point contrast detect autofocus system as well as it can shoot 6 frames per second in the continuous drive mode, certainly a worthy competitor. Upon unboxing I was fairly satisfied with the Canon PowerShot SX710HS considering that this electronic camera besides being an affordable point-and-shoot design felt and look rather capable. It is quite tiny yet feels rather considerable in the hands. One of things that thrilled me one of the most was that this electronic camera delivered some enthusiast-level controls, which I really did not anticipate. I assume that both newbies as well as skilled professional photographers can have lots of enjoyable with this cam. Excellent impression. I invested a long time with this electronic camera and also tried to use it in numerous scenarios, portraits, landscapes, and especially outdoors, as well as it succeeded especially in natural light problems for outdoors and also nature digital photography. It focused instead rapidly, regardless of being a rather cheap design. In high ISO setups, it fared respectable and also I am rather satisfied with whatever that this little fellow provided, and also I assume that you have to consider this. Number 2. Nikon D5500. Coming up next we have the Nikon D5500, which is dedicated as an entry-level electronic camera for novices that want a lot more creative control over their digital photography, as well as it supplies pièce de resistance for outside digital photography. This electronic camera will certainly offer you with adequate, enjoyable and impressive photographs, well besides its rather terrific value for the cost aspect that made the case even more excellent. The Nikon D5500 was launched in 2015, which is 5 years back, but still, this camera has matured instead well and also supplied some wonderful features as well as specifications. The electronic camera is packed with a 24 megapixel APS-C size CMOS sensing unit that goes hand to hand with the XSpeed 4 picture CPU. I should state that the ISO series of this camera covers from 100 to 25,600 as well as it has 12 white equilibrium presets. In the autofocus division, this camera has a contrast detect sensor with 39 emphasis points. When it comes to speed though, this camera can shoot 5 frames per second in the ruptured shooting mode and it can fire 820 photos with a single battery cost. Prior to getting this camera, just by considering its specifications I anticipated a rather huge video camera, however no, the Nikon D5500 actions regarding 4.88 x 3.82 x 2.76 inches in overall as well as considers 420 grams with the batteries. However, it still has a strong monocoque building and construction that is pretty resilient and sturdy. I must likewise specify that the cam has a pretty ergonomic form permitting you to get a pretty secure hold. The controls though are outstanding, providing you a wonderful amount of innovative liberty that you would not anticipate from an electronic camera at this price. During my testing, I fell in love with this camera, particularly at the information retention, which incorporated the powers of the 24MP sensor and the absence of anti-aliasing filter. Better on the colors were instead all natural and also rather friendly. The sound was gotten rid of outstandingly also in the higher sensitivity settings. If you want an electronic camera that will certainly provide you ample fun, this is it. Number 3. Fujifilm XT30. I am a big fan of Fujifilm electronic cameras because they provide some of the best video cameras around while still being underrated, and they have been one of the leaders of the mirrorless revolution. The Fujifilm XT30 is among the very best instances, however, especially for outdoor photography. It does lots of things right, without a great deal of compromises, and amazing worth for the cost, among my faves on the whole. I am incredibly surprised as to why this cam goes to this cost, as the manufacturer can definitely increase the price a whole lot, based simply on the specs as well as functions. This video camera is packing a 26-megapixel APS-C size BSI CMOS sensor that is tried and also tested. Additionally, it has the X processor 4 for picture handling and the X-Trans native color filter range. The ISO array extends from 80 to 51200 and it has 7 white equilibrium presets. The autofocus is quite excellent though, as it has a hybrid autofocus system with 425 focus factors in total amount. The biggest selling factor of this cam is that it can shoot 30 structures per second in the continual drive setting, as well as has a battery life of 380 shots. If you know its predecessor, you will see this electronic camera instantly, as it has not altered a lot in the looks division. Nonetheless, it is slightly smaller and also lighter, as it evaluates simply 383 grams in total amount. This consists of the battery as well as the SD card as well. Bear in mind that this monster is built with metal all around, but it has no weather-conditioned sealing, unfortunately, and this is its only drawback, appropriate along with its superficial hand grip, which may be a problem if you integrate it with larger lenses. But general with the controls and also everything consisted of every little thing looks and feels right with this cam. In real-world tests, this video camera absolutely thrills any kind of digital photographer. It matters not if you are a professional or a beginner, this point is outstanding, and everybody can discover a great use for it. The colors are certainly the very best, as always with Fuji. Yet what excited me one of the most were the movie simulation modes that worked wonders in various circumstances. Number 4. Canon 90D. Nearing the first, I decided to bring in the big guns, and also initially, I have among one of the most outstanding DSLR versions that are released in the last couple of years, the Canon 90D. This video camera comes as one of the most feature-packed packages in the marketplace, with an exceptional sensor, terrific speed, outstanding autofocus, ergonomic body and also far more. The Canon 90D just does it all. The Canon 90D was launched in 2019 and also comes with all the cutting-side modern technology that Canon possesses in its mid-range schedule. This cam is packed with a 33-megapixel APS-C dimension CMOS sensing unit that is loaded with the new DIG IC8 picture processor. It has an ISO variety that spans from 100 to 51200, as well as it has 6 white balance presets. The autofocus system is a contrast detect 1 with 45 cross-type points. This electronic camera can shoot 11 structures per second in the burst shooting setting, as well as it has a battery life of 1300 shots. Do not mind me saying that this is a big gun, since this camera is pretty tiny and lightweight compared to most of the electronic cameras in its classification, as it determines 3 times 5.5 times 4.1 inches in total and evaluates 701 grams with the battery and flash memory card included. What is more impressive is that it has an excellent weight circulation that works instead well also when incorporated with larger lenses. It helps that it has a fantastic deep hand grip as well as thumb hold in the back as well. The controls are superb, yet if you are a beginner you will really feel a little overwhelmed. In real-life performance, the Canon 90D is a capable device, suggesting it is not simply numbers and tech lingo, as it combines all of its attributes and also performance as well. It has a terrific 216-zone metering system that does an excellent work of recording exposure. The ruptured shooting speed is excellent also, and it remains concentrated in all times. It handles sound pretty good in the high ISO degrees, and I think that this is comparable to it obtains for a mid-range DSLR. Number 5. Nikon D5. In addition to the list, we have none other than the Nikon D5. This camera is an action tale as well as for all the ideal reasons. It is extremely sturdy, has one of the best autofocus systems, the best constant shooting rate, buffer capability, battery life, and also the most remarkable video shooting abilities. This camera is super costly though, given that it is truly a specialist level cam, and also it would certainly be an overkill for many lovers. I must specify that this video camera has a 21-megapixel full-frame CMOS sensing unit, which accompanies instead well with the Xpeed 5 image CPU. The Nikon D5 has an ISO array that covers from 50 to a whopping 3,280,000 and has a total amount of 12 white equilibrium presets. The autofocus performance of contrast detect as well as phase detect systems with 153 focus factors and also the ruptured shooting speed of 14 frames per second without losing focus establishes it apart from the competitors. Right upon unboxing you will certainly see that the Nikon D5 is one heck of a camera. It is a huge one and a hefty one. It gauges a beastly 6.3 x 6.3 x 3.63 inches in complete and considers concerning 1,415 grams with the battery in it. Nevertheless, it is extremely comfy to hold, and if you are a knowledgeable Nikon professional photographer, all the better. This electronic camera can carry out also in the most extreme problems, cold, scalding hot, storms and whatnot. This camera will manage everything as it is examined versus every little thing. The controls are a bit complex also for my requirements, however absolutely nothing a professional cannot handle. In each and every single element, the Nikon D5 is a phenomenal device. It certainly defeats everything in its way. The emphasis performance is definitely cutting edge and it is quite near real life, something not a lot of video cameras can flaunt. That emphasis relates to the 12 frames per second capturing setting with auto exposure, which is wonderful. The low light efficiency was incredible also, and also I assume that if you can afford it, this is just one of the best video cameras that cash can acquire, specifically for exterior digital photography. Before obtaining this electronic camera, simply by looking at its specifications I expected an instead big video camera, but no, the Nikon D5500 steps about 4.88 x 3.82 x 2.76 inches in overall and considers 420 grams with the batteries. I ought to also mention that the camera has a quite ergonomic shape, permitting you to obtain a pretty safe grasp. Do not mind me saying that this is a huge weapon, given that this electronic camera is rather little as well as lightweight contrasted to most of the cameras in its group, as it gauges 3 x 5.5 x 4.1 inches in overall and also weighs 701 grams with the battery and memory card included. Upon unboxing you will see that the Nikon D5 is one heck of a video camera. It is a huge one as well as a heavy one.
Thanks for watching and I hope you liked the video. If you found the video helpful, please remember to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future. If you have any questions related to these products, you can leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.